Dave Copperman has an idea to make you some of that money we've heard so much about. Yes, we hear a lot about money. Just putting my comment from the other day out to Dave, and thank you, David. The Waverly Foreman Void arrived yesterday, and it is again a thing of beauty. Yes, I haven't seen a copy yet, but Kagan told me that he got them in, and Markey did their usual jaw-dropping job on it. Kudos to the usual team. I actually rather like the blue cover with gold stamp. Definitely gives it the vibe of a period hardcover of one of Hemingway's books, once you've mislaid the dust jacket, as one does. Well, if you're a pathological collector, you don't mislay dust jackets as was done historically. They didn't used to actually even illustrate the dust jacket. It was just there to keep dust off of it while it was in the store until you bought it, and then you just threw the dust jacket away. Maybe a smallish way for Dave to make a little extra scratch is to design a dust jacket for people who have bought hardcovers print on demand. I could totally see him killing it as an exercise in mid-century design and flap copy. I'd personally be happy to buy one if the price were reasonable. Oh, right there. See, that's where we start to get into difficulties, as my dad used to call them. Reasonable and profitable are two different categories in this day and age. And Lord knows the hardcover completists out there would be happy to spend unreasonably as their budgets allow. Could even be a sale piece for people who didn't buy the hardcover. Leave flat with, quote, fold here and trim, quote, markings. And those that want it for the hardcover got theirs, and those who don't can have it as a poster. Heck, there's many that would buy two to cover both bases. Thanks, Dave Copperman. Okay, just off the top of my head on that one, I don't see there being enough money in it for me to devote money-making time to it. I mean, my time is divided between Strange Death of Alex Raymond, which is this has to be done properly and very specifically the way I picture it in my mind. And if that just takes way too long, that just takes way too long. We're working on ways to monetize Strange Death of Alex Raymond, starting from what is page 154, 153 in SDOAR Carson, which is what everybody has now. And the last page of mock-ups that I've done, page 554. So there's 300 pages there to monetize and make available in some way that hopefully won't involve me personally having to do anything now that my side is producing the pages. When it comes to money-making things like Kristen H. out in California, sending me a money order for $2,000 US and a blank Cerebus sketchbook cover, and I fill it up and send it to him, and then he sends me another check with another sketchbook cover. Obviously, that I don't think that's going to go on forever, but that's the money-making category that I picture. People are not going to buy $2,000 dust jackets. The 120 people who have bought the Foreman Boyd hardcover aren't aren't going to be paying $100 for a dust jacket. So it gets into I need the most bang for the buck, or things where, okay, I'm doing this to make money. It's not a part of me that says Foreman Boyd needs a dust jacket. So it's not that compulsive creative itch that has to stay at the center of my art. And it's not something that would make money. I think the compromise position would be if you or somebody else wants to do a dust jacket using the existing artwork. I mean, the remastered edition is pretty clean, so if all you would be doing is mocking up a dust jacket. Here, I think this head, Ham Ernestway, this figure of Cerebus, and we'll do this Photoshop trick, fusing the one to the other. Here's, a couple of panels in the background, burned out to a light gray, or here's everything in color. It's, I certainly wouldn't tell anybody, no, you can't do a dust jacket for my book. If, you already paid really, really good dinero for the hardcover. If you want to design your own dust jacket and either just have it be your dust jacket, which would require getting the digital files from Sean Robinson and do it using the best quality scans to make a dust jacket. You could do that, and then you could say, okay, here's the dust jacket that I mocked up for myself, and now have a finished version that I got them to print out at Kinko's. Anybody else wants this, you have to send Dave Sim money. You have to send Aardvark Anaheim, and you pick a number out of a hat of how much they would have to pay you to use your dust jacket, and pay Aardvark Anaheim to use your dust jacket. I could see that. I could see, and we'd probably be lucky to get 5 people in each category. But in terms of this is how much time it would take for me to sit down and, have, well, first of all, I'd have to go through every page of Foreman Boyd again, which I just did. And I would have to pull out images, and I would have to size them on the photocopier and pick out a typeface that I liked, or use the logo that I already drew, and try to come up with, as you say, what we'd be looking for is a exercise in mid-century design and flat copy, because that's a very specific thing. And I think you're right. That would be, if you were going to make up a dust jacket for Foreman Boyd, that's what you would want to have in mind. And that's another part of the exercise. Okay, how many mid-century books do I have or have access to? And okay, that one looks really good. Let's do that. What's that typeface called? Okay, now I got to go looking for the typeface through all of my typefaces. And it's like, if I can do a 2-hour painting of Cerebus and Jaka on a sketchbook cover and get $2,000, that's probably where I'm going to be putting my time in.
Well, my thought is, I kind of wonder if Gerhard would be interested in doing a dust jacket, and running with the idea. Because in my head, I'm thinking a good cover would be, it's a landscape with a diagonal, kind of tear from one corner to the other, the bottom corner to the top corner, and on the top side it's the winter and the trees are bare and the snow, and the bottom side is Africa. And I'm going, that would look really neat. If I had thousands of dollars, I'd pay Gerhard to do that for me, but I don't have thousands of dollars.
Right. And from what I understand, Gerhard's pretty busy as it is. He's got a list as long as his arm of commissions, so it's not like, well, I suppose, if you just won one of those landmark lotteries that we have these days. I just read about a guy that won $70 million. Yeah, if you had $70 million and you were willing to give Gerhard 2 of those, or 5 of those, or 8 of those, to put all of his commissions on hold to do your Foreman Void dust jacket. I can't speak for him, but I think arguably he would say, yeah, that's a go. He might want to spend 2 or 3 months on his boat somewhere tropical before he started on it, but definitely I think it would probably move you to the top of his list.
Well, for a couple $1 million, I think just out of necessity, Gerhard would have to take his boat down to Cuba to go to the Hemingway estate down there and just make sure he got the vibe right. It's a fact-finding trip. It's a fact-finding trip, Matt. I'm going for fact-finding.
That's right. That's right. And buy a recreated Ernest Hemingway's boat, the Pilar. And there, I'm going to cruise around on Ernest Hemingway's boat. Actually, a facsimile of it with all of the modern conveniences. Like you say, just to get the vibe.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think Gerhard would only charge a couple of grand for the cover. It's all the expenses to make the cover that's where you get up into the millions.
Well, there you go. There you go. But there would be no way to keep you out of the newspaper if you won $70 million. So he knows there's more where that came from. So drum up those expenses. Let's make this happen.